Adrian Newey is officially set to become the team principal at Aston Martin starting in 2026. This will become an extension of the role that he took on that was a groundbreaking deal when he left Red Bull. That role and title was managing technical partner, and it was a really big deal given the fact that Adrian has built rocket ships of cars across his career. Most fans are going to know him as the legend that helped Red Bull achieve the level of dominance that they've had in the last couple of eras, but he also built a championship Williams car back in the day, and now he's hoping to do the same thing again at Aston Martin. However, this is going to be a very big transition year for a number of reasons for Aston. Not only are we getting a totally new set of technical regulations in 2026 that every team has to build around, sort of setting the playing field back to level across the entire grid. We're also adding an 11th team to the grid with Cadillac, and Aston Martin will no longer be a customer team, which they've been for Mercedes for years, and instead they become a works team, bringing over Honda and their own power unit. So with all of those changes, we're also seeing Aston Martin make a change in the way that their actual management structure works. While Adrian Newey will continue to run the design team, he'll also manage trackside operations as team principal. The current team principal, Andy Cowell, will transition into a new role of chief strategy officer. And per the press release, his main focus is going to be managing the partnership between Aston Martin, as well as Honda bringing in this new power unit, Aramco as the fuel supplier, and Valvoline, which is their lubricant partner. Now, there is a lot of discussion about whether or not this is the right move for Adrian Newey. He is a design genius for sure, but he's never actually managed a team from a team principal management level. But what I think is interesting and unique about this choice is twofold. One, we know that Adrian Newey in particular is always looking for a new challenge. At a certain point, just continuing to build a new championship car without having really any challenges across that can get a little boring if you are widely regarded as a genius. And so his move to Aston Martin was not only a move that was financial and interesting, it was a move that presented a new challenge of trying to get a team to the front of the grid again. And moving into a new management role is absolutely going to scratch a new itch for Adrian. In addition to that, it does make sense that with so many moving parts and so many of those moving parts being technical, you would want someone like Adrian Newey to be able to have a lot of control. This team is keeping their drivers in place, but almost everything else is changing. They have a new power unit partner with Honda, we have new technical regulations with the 2026 changes, we have different competition entering the grid, and there's a lot that's going to change about this car and about competition. So with so many moving parts, it does make sense to have these two roles split and to have Adrian Newey in a position where he can make a lot of decisions without any sort of pushback. And when you look at the engineering background of two different team principals right now that are doing a very good job, Andrea Stella and Laurent Mekies, it also makes sense for Aston Martin to consider putting a technical person in that role as well. Either way, I think we're going to see an incredibly different Aston Martin next year. And I'm curious for you if you think all of these changes that we're seeing be made mean that Aston Martin will be a real contender at the front of the grid next season.